Toxic words. 20 things you should never say to yourself. Improving one's self-worth through changing one's self-talk. A cognitive behavioral approach. Mark Underwood, M.A., LMFT. Forward and a few notes of thanks. The vignettes that start each chapter of this are not based off of any one specific person who I have seen in my practice over the last 15 years, but instead are based on the general memory of hearing numerous people saying the same things to me that are playing in their heads on a daily basis. No one person is responsible for me writing any of the 20 chapters to follow. That being said, I want to express my sincerest gratitude and thanks to all the people who contributed to the writing of this book, by trusting me with their innermost thoughts and believing that I could help them improve their daily lives. It's no small thing to trust someone with what you think, feel, and believe in your deepest and most private place, which I believe in your conscious mind and the thoughts generated from within. Again, I am humbled to have been allowed to see and experience what my clients think, feel, and believe. I hope that I was able to make their lives better in any way possible. I would like to offer a special thanks to my trusted friend and mentor, Dr. Thomas Battacletti, PhD, for his wisdom and expert training many years ago, without whom this book would not be possible. I would also like to offer a special thanks to Emily Henderson for her unwavering support for this project and for her patiently and carefully reading each chapter and providing me feedback on how easily understandable what I wrote was, and how easily it was to be processed by the casual reader, who is not a trained therapist. Her efforts and responses are appreciated more than I can put words to express. Lastly, I would like to thank my lovely wife, Amber Lynn, who took the time out of her busy schedule to correct my many run-on sentences and grammar mistakes. Your willingness to take on this responsibility and the effort you put forth in it was and is greatly appreciated. Thank you again, Mark Underwood, M.A., LMFT, Daphne, Alabama. Introduction. There are 3 kinds of books that you can buy that are written by therapists. The first are books that are written as research projects that are trying to break new ground in the field of psychotherapy, primarily for other therapists to read and consider. These are very technical in both language and content and are not meant for the general public, and they would not be very interesting to read by the regular person out there. The second are books written by psychotherapists for other therapists to use with their clients, sort of guidebooks and walkthroughs for either techniques or theories that can be used during sessions to make their lives better. The average person can buy these and read them, but they are written to be used by the teacher and not the student, and they can be a bit technical or are still largely written in professional language. The third kind of book is one written by a therapist for a potential client, the average person who may not even know much about the world of therapy, who doesn't need to know technical jargon or psychotherapeutic principles to enjoy or utilize what's in the book. It will not take you very long, presuming that you either purchased or borrowed this book, to figure out which of the 3 this is. I am deliberately writing a book for the man or woman on the street who is not particularly interested in the world of therapy and doesn't have any familiarity with the basic concepts or principles that come from it. In fact, I didn't really write this book per se, because I used a voice application and talked each chapter out like I was having a conversation with someone, so that it would read more easily and hopefully more comfortably and enjoyably. The world of psychotherapy is not necessarily complicated by necessity, but frequently because, like any profession, the people in it would like it to make it look more prestigious, more difficult, and deeper on intellectual and emotional level, so that it will be valued more. While I don't want to reduce what I do, or what we're going to discuss in the chapters to come, in a way that cheapens any part of my profession, what I do want to do is make it easy consumable, and digestible for you, the reader. My premise is that people's lives are shaped by what they believe about themselves and the world around them, and how they should relate to it. And the best way to tell you what you, or I, believe is to hear what we say to ourselves in the privacy of our own thoughts. I believe that what we tell ourselves privately determines the success of our emotional and relational lives, and also determines whether we will create depressive symptoms in and of ourselves. I have included 20 examples of things I have commonly heard my clients say to themselves over the years that has caused them some form of internal misery, resulting in depressive symptoms for one reason or another. This is not a clinical research book, but rather an experimentally based exploration of the most frequent potholes that I have seen my clients drive over and damage their cars on, and how and why I would want to steer you away from these on the road of life. Hopefully, you will find this book to be easy reading, but also somewhat eye-opening and helpful. It was intended to help others to have a better life by not getting constricted into knots emotionally and cognitively, which cause people to call me and set an appointment up. My end goal would be that you would get the benefit of seeing a therapist or seeing me specifically without having to take the time, money, and opportunity to actually travel to the office. So hopefully, you'll get 40 or 50 sessions worth of cognitive behavioral therapy for the price of this book, no matter whether you bought an ebook or a hard copy. And you'll find things in these 20 chapters that will cause you to think and reflect and make your life better as a result. Here's to hoping that you'll find what I wrote worth spending the time to read. Mark Underwood, licensed marriage and family therapist, Daphne, Alabama.